Why, hello everyone, and welcome to the stream. This is Otaku Showboat. Today is Tuesday, July 20th, 2021. On this day, Blue Origin launched 4 people on a suborbital spaceflight, and everything was successful. What an interesting morning it has been today watching the rocket launch with the capsule that has 4 actual people in it, plus 4 plus. So I'm also really tired today at the start of today's stream, just so as we're all aware, and in a little bit of pain because I cracked my leg against a table, the table with the piano on it next to me. Yeah, I had gotten up yesterday a little bit too quickly and just slammed right under my knee, right where the bone is, right below the knee. Slammed it really hard. And so today I have a lot of soreness down there, and it's painful to walk, shall we say. A little bit painful to walk, even with pain pills. So, bearing all of that in mind, as we get into the game today. Oh boy. Game? Game? There's the game. There you are. Hello. Welcome, everyone, to Factorio. One thing I want to say is that yesterday's stream with Astroneer, I finally figured out what my performance issue was with that game. Turns out it was simply the game trying to run at 144 frames per second while also streaming. Yeah, that does not end up going too well the vast majority of the time, especially with 3D games like that, even for a 1080 Ti. So I limited the frame rate to 60, and that seems to have solved all of my performance issues. All because I don't have this thingy up here. All because it's not a Steam game, and I don't have set up any overlay to show me what my frame rate is. Had I seen the frame rate beforehand, I would have immediately seen the issue. But no, the game doesn't have a way to see the frame rate from within the game. And I do have ways of being able to see what it is. It's just I have to set the thing up again. Hello, Vicky and Mark. Welcome. Welcome. Last time here on Factorio's Sea Block, we set up these small biter zoos, and they are operational. I haven't really done anything else besides this off screen. So we're leaving off pretty much where we left off. We're starting today where we left off today from last time. Today's goal, while I could attempt to process these raw splinters, I would like to get into medium biters as quickly as possible. Now, the medium biter egg experiments require, who would have thought, raw crystal splinters. So we can just go for it. The problem, while we have raw crystal seeds, we don't have crystal enhancers. We also don't have acidic puffers. No, we have blazing puffers right now through the blazing puffer breeding that are making nuts. We're going to need to make pips to breed the acidic puffers to get a sufficient supply of eggs going for that. And during that process, we'll also have to wait for the egg experiment hatching of the eggs to give us the stuffs. Where is the medium hatching? Medium egg hatching, where are you? It's somewhere. Because that's to make the egg. That's to hatch the egg. You need alien processed meat. You have a 2.5% chance of getting a biter queen for each egg that you hatch. We need 2 queens to start off the positive feedback loop of the medium biters. Fortunately, the build for the medium biters is identical to the small. Minor changes to the actual number of buildings required, I think, for the equivalent output. Maybe? It takes longer to get up and running because of that lower inherent chance to get the queens on the egg hatching steps, but it pretty much looks exactly like this for the medium biters, and it will look pretty much exactly like this for the big biters in the end. But that's going to be done in a completely new square. For now, what I need... Oh gosh, I did that? Yes, I did do that last time. We set up calcium carbonate production through this shenaniganry. Oh right, I did that as fast as I possibly could because we went overtime last time. Right. And I'm also getting the ammonia out of... Yeah, that. Because I have copper and iron. Most definitely. This is the easy way, rather than having infinity numbers of additional algae farms doing blue algae, plus all of the sulfuric wastewater that would be required for the blue algae. Yeah. Yeah, this is much better. This makes... I don't even know how much. I wasn't paying attention. I have room here. I could scale for additional calcium carbonate, if I so desire. For now, though, what I need to do is I need to get over back here and switch it to produce pips. We need to produce the other thing and start breeding other biters. Where's my locomotive? There it is. Hello. Would you come here, please? My mode of transport. La di 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 da. There you are. Hello. Take me. Yeah. So all we're going to do is just adjust this. I don't think I'm going to add to it. Now, I did provide the blueprint as requested for this. So, alright, so for those who want the blueprint, I should instead do it just by adding on in this space to make the other stuff. Even though I don't need any more of these. What I should do, and what I'm actually going to do, are two very different things. We're going to do the medium biter experiment. You are no longer going to be that. You are instead going to be the acidic puffer breeding that needs pips rather than nuts. You need the acidic puffers. What was I doing here? Right, you need to make sure that you have a couple of acidic puffers to get the job done. I don't ever lose them. Correct. I don't ever lose them. So we are fine. I will need to make crystal enhancers as well as provide raw crystal splinters. Why did I not bring the raw crystal splinters with me? That seems like a oversight. Ever so slight oversight. And why do you not have any crystal seeds? Wait, what? What happened to crystal seeds? Weren't I making those? Was I not? Oh. I see. This stupid inserter is stealing all of my stuff. This makes one whole bacteria, so it's still gonna steal my stuff. Where's the ammonia? Why you no go? Why you no go? But why you no go? More voiding is on the agenda. I need it go. I need it go fast. Please go fast. Please get rid of all of this excess acid gas so that this can go. Yes, I need this go. Now. Pips! That will hopefully solve this little teensy-weensy itty-bitty issue. Maybe. Or I just do an actual splitter. There. Now it will make these, guaranteed. The problem is that the crystal enhancer is also going to need these seeded dishes. As well as crystal catalyst and crystal powder. Now, crystal powder, no matter what, requires milling. So we have to get lube. We have to get lube for the milling drums. Crystal powder will be a result of processing our splinters, so we can keep this in mind, but it's also a result of milling crystal dust, which is going to be our primary way of getting into the crystal powder. This crystal powder is going to be converted into crystal slurry with purified water and then deleted from the face of existence. Once I have enough to make the grindstones, that is. Because we will need grindstones when doing the polishing in here. Those are required. And note that crystal grindstones are a completely different item from the grinding wheel, which is used to cut the gemstones. Definitely a different thing entirely, and I am very confused because, as it turns out, artisanal reskins reskinned these things. And this crystal grindstone looks a lot similar to the grinding stone used to cut the actual gemstones, the way it used to be. So, let's get to it, I suppose. This is going to be making the crystal enhancers, so I need to make sure that I am providing those. The milling is done in a specific building type that I don't know if I've actually made. It is not the powder mixer. I think it's in the ore powderizer. Hold up. Crystal powder is done in the ore powderizer. I don't know if I'm actually making this. I don't appear to be. So, we will need to make... Unless I'm not in my grid. I am absolutely in my grid right now. Alright. First thing is first. Ore powderizer. Building. The first, second, and third. So I can make level 3s. Meaning that I will absolutely do so. In my mall. Now, if you haven't seen me do this remote method of updating my mall before, I am absolutely doing something that is not actually intended by the Factorio developers. Or is it? Because we have this thing called reach as a statistic. The problem is you can sort of get around that completely by copy-paste. Copy-paste is, extremely powerful. As you can probably tell. Because while I could do a shift right click, shift left click, that's limited by reach. Shift right click, shift left click. It's limited by reach to paste things using shift right click and shift left click. But if you copy and make a blueprint, oh, why then you can paste down that entity with the assigned requests and with the assigned recipe anywhere on the entire map within vision range. Yeah. Small, little Factorio things. It's all in the little things, right? All these mechanics. Glorious mechanics. There you go. Now, we will have the level 4, or powderizers. Now, there's one more thing I want to do, and that is to limit the stacks, and we do that in the exact same way. So for this output, and this output, we are going to limit the stacks. And that pastes in the exact same way. There'll be at most 20 items stored up in here. Now, they are delivering me these highest level powderizers. As this is the first time we are actually going to use them. Beautiful. Glorious stuff. So, this little ore powderizer 3 has a crafting speed of 3 and is completely and utterly broken. It's so overpowered. Okay, the milling drum recycling. Well, first off, I'm going to need milling drums. Milling drums are steel plus lubricant. Now, please tell me that I have thought ahead. I have not thought ahead. Great. Milling drums. All the way back up at the mall. Hello? This would be lubricant. Yes, it is. Go ahead and paste that for me. And then do the exact same thing. Plop that there. Paste that there. Grab this. Back over here. Go there. Plop that. Gib. Power. Gib power. And that is going to then need one of these and one of those. There you go. Success! We shall have milling drums. And then I suppose I need a circuit control, right? Circuit control logic. I should have that here. What was the key? Flip? Yes, F. F to flip. Glorious. Absolutely glorious. Now, you are not bringing me those. This requester chest is actually not at all within the, circuit logic here. So this particular chest, it doesn't even need to be here. It can be anything. I can actually replace this with the 1x1 chest when I eventually get access to that. Ugh. Right. We're not at yellow science yet. Because for whatever reason, the 1x1 entity chests, oh, those you can't have until you get into utility science. The equivalent of utility science in Science Cost Tweaker. Yeah, you can get the 1x1 passive provider chests. Oh, those you can get just fine. You can't get the requester chests until you pick up the specific logistics tech all the way up at yellow. Yeah. Purple plus yellow to get requester chests. And then, this is also locking logistic warehouses, logistic silos, and bigger versions of the 1x1 entities. More capacious version, higher capacity version. Now, I thought there was a higher capacity version of the 2x2s, but I could be completely wrong about that. That would be under Angel's stuff. Wait, no! No, you're kidding me. Control F no longer works here. So Factorio updated recently, and it seems that in their update, specifically with what is it really used for, the mod, what is it really used for, they seem to have broken keybinding priorities. It now absolutely prioritizes mod key bindings over the actual game key bindings. So when I hit Control F, it is exclusively trying to open up what is it really used for, even if it can't do so on the text screen. Great. There are not increased versions of this chest. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Also, you may notice I need lubricant. Yes, I do. I need lubricant. Now, we have options on the lubricant. We can either request it or make it. I'm going to request it. But how are you going to request it? You don't really have any more space for your thinking here. Aha. O ye of little faith. I shall have space. Space shall be a thing that I have. Get out of my inventory, you. I may need to, make an adjustment or two on the output. Why, hello there. That will work just fine. Our lube. At puffing. Bring me the lubricant! I must have the glorious oil-based lubricant. It shall be mine. Don't forget the signals. Never forget your signals. That is a little bit too far. And thinking about it, I likely need additional lubricant. But you know what? We're okay for now. So where we are going to be processing our crystals, I will need lubricant for the impending milling drum shenanigans. Why have you not done the thing yet? Oh. That would be why. I had apparently copied a filter inserter rather than a standard inserter. Alright. Milling. Milling, milling, milling. Where are you? Little ore powderizer. There you are. So. This doohickey is going to need to make the crystal powder. What we're going to do here is this. And then what's... Ugh. You know, I don't like that, but it works. Or I can do this. That will be better. I need a filter stack output. Actually, no. It will only ever take... Yeah, I mean, using a filter stack is fine, but in reality, it's never going to attempt to use the wrong thing with these two inserters. That's just one of the quirks. One of the mechanics you don't tend to think about as much. It only doesn't care with the regular inserters when you're outputting onto a belt. It's only dumb about the belt outputs. When it's inserting from machine to machine, it will only pull a thing that the destination can receive. In the case of the belt, the destination belt can take anything, but in this case, the destination chest, quote-unquote, can only receive one of the two items for each of these, so they will never pick up the wrong item. As far as I'm aware, as far as I can know about the game mechanics, that is what happens. Today is a very slow day, by the way. I want to point out that there's not many people watching the stream live today. For whatever reason, I'm sure there's many. But, yeah. It's just something to point out. I guess no one is searching for how to do the biter zoos, the medium biter zoos, on YouTube right now. But we are on the way towards getting our modules. These should be happening now, game. Hello? Oh, you know, it would help if I was actually requesting the standard milling drums. See? And rather than the used ones. That would help dramatically. And so this will, of course, start to output into the stuff. Now, why are you... There. Distribute. Yo. Acid. Oh. Ahem. That would help. There you go. There's your seeds. There's your meat. Now, alien processed meat. I'm actually doing the alien processed meat here. And I technically have an infinite supply. For as much meat as I'm producing, that is. Well, it may be tempting to put it onto the network. I'm going to leave it as it is. Because... it's so simple to get. It is 2 ingredients to 1 out. 2 in, 1 out. 3 in, actually, to 1 out. 4 in to 1 out. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's actually something to think about. It's worth the space savings. Instead of having 4, having 1 train station request. So it's something I want to think about putting in a separate square, basically. Just this part at scale. The problem, and the reason why I'm not doing that for this, is this right here. I need to be able to process and preferentially utilize the meat coming from the extra queens that will be produced. Once all is moving, once I have enough queens for everything to start moving along the entire line, yes, it's going to take forever to happen. It will eventually happen, and we will eventually be backed up on queens on an entire lane of the belt. It'll be just all the queens all the time, even at a 5% chance, even at a 2.5% chance, even at a 1% chance, depending on the size of fighter that you're dealing with. There will eventually be an excess, and we need to deal with that excess in some way. So I'm not just directly bringing in the alien processed meat in these builds, which is the bulk of what's going to consume alien processed meat in the end, because I need to deal with the extra queens. And they produce regular meat, not alien processed meat, so we would still need to process the meat regardless. So we'd still need to do this regardless. Yeah, so that's why I didn't put it onto the network. And I mean, alien processed. I don't even know what the name is in the thingy. this is only used in the biter stuff and breeding anyway. So there's not much point. So are you doing the thing? Yes. You now need the crystal seeds. Cool. Or crystal catalysts. Okay. Crystal catalysts. I am making them here. For my own sanity. I have over 21,000 in provider chests for storage right now. We're gonna have the bots do that, so I don't have to put another train on my thingy here. And that's gonna make the crystal enhancers, so that's one step down. Pips! Which one is Pips? Pips is Nielaubergine. Okay. This process produces crystal dust. Oh boy. It needs sand and saline as well as the Nielaubergine seeds. Now this is very easy. This is not like Zello Squash. Yeah, this is not like the Zello Squash. I think. Hold up, let me look. No, this is using dormants, so we need to be very careful. We need to be very careful. We're going to replace this completely. We have our Elendals. Here they are cycling out. I no longer need the Elendals. Now instead, what we need is Nielaubergine processing. Get rid of all of those nuts. Get rid of those swamps. I no longer need swamps. What is eating up all of my slots in my inventory? You. Oh, I guess it's this oil processing building stuff. Yeah, let's get rid of those things. That's better. Okay. I will need Nielaubergine. I need to remove this and clean it. I'm realizing that only half of the thing was moving ever at a time. Interesting. Right. Oh goodness, that is a lot of Elendals. We need to get rid of this completely. Clean the belts. Gotta clean the belts. Fortunately, with the nuts, the stack size is freaking 500. Further up, further up. There you go. Ah, the beautiful mating call. The mating call of the majestic puffers. You. Swap. You're doing that. You are doing that now. You're gonna have medium eggs in the grand scheme. I'm also going to need to request these. Once we have them, they'll be on their way up here. Hello. Whole bunch of dudes taking stuff from my trash slots. Cool. Go. Do the thing. Alright. Oh boy. I'm swarmed. I'm being swarmed. I don't really care about the swarm. Get away. Go, go. I have things to do. Okay, sand. This needs only 2 things making sand. From thin. Thin is this one. Back here. No, thin is you. You produce thin, so this dies. I get to add a liquefier here. Doing that. Demolish. Double the sand. Up. Okay. You have your sand. Next, saline. Saline water. Where is that glorious purple salination plant? There. Do that. And that. There is the saline. Now to load up with the initial stuffs. Now, I need to be very careful, because I need to actually filter the dormant Nil aubergines to the right. And then shift, excuse me. Did I accidentally my seeds? I think I accidentally my seeds. Yes, I absolutely may have accidentally. I thought I had like 50 something. Yeah, I accidentally the seed in the trash slots. Whoops. Whoopsies. Yeah, could you bring those back, please? I have like 56 of them, something like that. There's 55. Is it 55? I guess it was 55. Autosave is autosaving. Now, I've already, by the way, gone through and, like, deleted / had my bots pick up everything within my logistics range, my construction logistics range, so absolutely everything has been cleaned out. I will need to expand the base in order to obtain more stuff from gardens. You know, these guys right over here. Okay, have you brought me these? Where did you go? Where did you drop them? Huh? How far away are you? Okay, there. They're right here. They're on their way. They're up near the beans. Once we get this going, we'll have the Nil Aubergine getting processed into pips and dust. Okay, Ahem. Need to make sure that we, filter out that crystal dust. We're gonna put it into a, massive warehouse. That will also shove it into a provider chest. Sure, why not? Close that. I don't need it. I don't need it. You need it? I don't need it. I also don't need 3 extractors here. I only need 1. 11 basic farms? Ha! Yeah. Okay, these are basically here. Go, go, go. Give me stuffs! Just bear in mind that this is fine because we don't need to do this for all eternity. And it's only okay because we don't need to do it for all eternity. Right, buffers. Blame buffers. How likely is it? Yeah. So you end up with with extra seeds as well out of all this. So we're gonna output priority left, but put this stuff into a warehouse too. Actually, I don't have enough space for a warehouse, do I? Yes, 1 whole tile! Don't you love it when it's 1 whole tile of a difference? There you go. So the excess Nil Aubergine will end up in here. The excess seeds. Chances are that's not going to be anything that's going to happen, because we'll have enough seeds. Well, we'll have enough of the pips in the end. We should actually be acid breeding now. Yes. Okay. Why have you not gotten the crystal enhancers? Excuse me? That should absolutely be set up by now. Oh. You know, it would help if I actually had the, inserting. Yeah, that would help. The inserting would help dramatically. Yeah. And then I just need to bring in, some of the raw crystals. So let's get in our train, our locomotive, excuse me, and go grab a few splinters from over here. We have a few. We have, quote-unquote, over 9,000 total splinters. Let's take, I don't know, a few. And go back. Whee! So fast. Gee, I hope this is enough to get at least 2 queens. Okay, I will need to put these in this guy. Alright, so that's you. Ta-da! Medium biter experiments on their way. While this is happening, we can start thinking about the processing of the crystals. That's going to be an interesting train station, isn't it? Huh. Did I end up keeping it as alumina up here? Yeah. I should not have kept this as alumina. I made an entire build of dedicated aluminium ore into alumina without realizing that there's only one use, ultimately, for alumina as alumina, outside of the ceramic filters, that is, that I would actually use it for. And that's for polishing compound. Whoops! I should have made this a polishing compound factory instead, just brought in the base mineral oil and loaded up polishing compound, but you know what? We're gonna live with the mistake. We'll probably just do the polishing compound here. Or something. Do something somewhere. Because that just means it means an extra train station in the end, wherever I'm doing stuff. Okay. Decision making time. We need to process these crystals. The thing about that is that it's gonna end up with 4 outputs each, which is a bit much. Let's go here. That's not the thing. Where's the thing? Which tab has all these crystal shenanigans? It's not under modules, wow. Crystal shenanigans, where are you? There you are. You're under Bob Resource Products. Okay. Sure. That's a lie, but we'll go with things for now. Okay. I have splinters. Once I have the 2 medium biter queens, I'll have shards. So, I mean, this is going to look the same regardless of size. But when you process a splinter in an assembling machine, you get 3 cut splinters, plus a crystal powder that you have to deal with. The cut splinters need grindstones plus slurry, with a chance of returning the grindstone, 2/3 chance of returning the grindstone, to make a polished splinter. And then 3 polished splinters make a harmonic splinter, but the harmonic splinter isn't necessarily used for the modules by itself. It's used for specific pieces. The modules are going to use the blue, the red, the green, primarily. Some are going to use harmonics as well. And what we're going to end up with is a difference in the demand for each of the 3 different colors of the crystals in the end, which is why these 3 recipes exist, where we get to take our cut splinters, not our polished, but our cut splinters that we have in excess of everything else, and we can convert them to crystal powder that we can then convert into slurry and void. And note that we need crystal slurry back here as well, and it's not the crystal seedling. It's just slurry, not seedling, which is a lot easier to deal with. Because you don't need to go through the filtration process to get into the slurry. So, that means 4 potential outputs per size. Now, when making the actual modules themselves, if we're trying to do all of the modules in one square in the base, one factory making all of the modules, if we're doing the crystal stuff separately, what does that mean? That would mean that I would need 12 train stations just for crystals. In the alternative, what does it take to actually do the processing with the modules? Well, the shards are used to make the first 2 levels of modules, so if we decide that we want to have only the first 2 levels of modules in a single factory, we would only need to bring in the raw crystal splinters plus the slurry. Well, we'll probably make the slurry, but we also need to make the crystal grindstones. So the stuff to make the crystal grindstones, the cycling of the milling drums as well. So we'll need lubricant and the raw crystal. So there's 2 inputs there. The crystal grindstone is powder. Okay. We can do that local. And grinding wheels, which is silicon carbide and steel. Oh boy. What does that mean? We're probably going to want to make these separate and bring those in as a separate thing. Because silicon carbide is going to be silicon ore plus carbon in a thingy. It's silicon nitride plus stuff, I think. Part of the ceramic processing, wherever that is. There it is. Silicon powder. Oh, it's powder plus carbon, not nitride. So that's ore. Yeah, that's ore in an assembling machine. Silicon ore plus carbon equals carbide. But that would be an extra input in the end to get into these grinding wheels. So there's 1, 2 extra inputs for this one thing. So it's better to bring that in already made. Well, alright. We can do crystal slurry local. We can do the crystal powder local. But what we end up with would be, okay, then what? Well, modules, if the intent is to make the modules, we then need all of the other stuff for the modules. What I'm getting at is this is going to be a really big train station no matter what we do. That's That's going to be the our final destination of this thought process here. It's going to be a massive train station, no matter what. No matter how we try to split it, no matter how we try to condense it, it's gonna be a ton of train stations. No matter what, you're forced into a massive train station. Particularly because these stupid boards are circuits, and you need all the inputs for the relevant level of circuits. So that's going to add a whole bunch of stuff in the end. And there's your polished splinters, by the way, and the polished shards, by the way. So if we don't make the modules directly, we're then left with the potential of, you know, a whole bunch of these guys as outputs if we want to have our modules in a separate area from the rest of the stuff, and we'd still need solder and module contacts. You can think, oh hey, well for the speed modules there's only 4 inputs. Only. Okay. Sure. Now, what we need to look at is what's using the boards versus what's using the logic boards versus what's using the processing boards. And then we can look at, well, how many variants will we want / need in the end? And what levels do we need to have provided onto the network in order to beat the game? So, there's something I want to look at, and that is these texts and these items here. So, the FTL drive, in the end, we know that we're going to want speed, efficiency, and productivity module level 8s. Speed, efficiency, and productivity at level 8. Let me make a note of that. Speed, efficiency, productivity, level 8. Level 8 and level 8. So that means that those 3, at minimum, at the moment, are required to get all the way up to level 8. And that's on the FTL tech. What about the assembly? That does not use modules. That does not use modules. Okay, for those specific components. These up here won't use modules either. The casings do not use modules. The protection fields do not use modules. It uses energy shields, but those, I don't think, use modules. This guy, Portable Fusion Reactor Mark IV, that uses RTGs, I think, or something along those lines. That is Speed Module 8. We already have Speed Modules level 8 on the agenda. This guy, not modules. This thing, not modules. This thing, productivity, we already have that listed. Speed, efficiency, and productivity at level 8. Those are on the agenda already, and that is speed level 8. Okay, I don't need to worry about anything else besides the level 8, apparently, for the ability to beat the game. There are other things that use modules, in particular, the fast belts, the super fast belts. Do I want to have the super fast belts? Is the question, because I know that I have level 2, and I have level 5. I have level 2, 2, 5, and 8 at minimum on my train network of these guys, of the modules. 2, 5, and 8. That's the thing we need to keep in mind. So, let's look at the speed modules. Level 1s are used for purple belts. Okay, they're also used for these things. Trains that I'm not planning on using. If I ever wish to make these purple ultra belts, I will need to also include the level 1 speed modules on the network. The speed module 2 is used for the next level of thing. It is used for rocket control units, so the 2s, they're going to be on the network regardless. Because we have level 2, 5, and 8. Level 2, 5, and 8 on network no matter what. Power armor uses level 2s. Level 2s, they're going to be on regardless. Level 3s for the final ultimate belt. Fine. I don't plan on doing these levels of belts. Level 4s. Portable fusion reactor Mark II. Note that we need the portable fusion reactor Mark V, or 4, Mark 4, for the fusion reactor. Okay. I passed that by, thinking that it would only need the level 8s, but as it turns out, every single portable fusion reactor up to this point actually requires modules. So we need the level 8, 6, 4, and that's it. We need the 8, 6, and 4. Need 8, 6, and 4 on network. So now, on speed, efficiency, and productivity. So now we need the 2, 4, 5, 6, and 8 of speed, efficiency, and productivity on the network, train network. And that's just for 3 of the module types. I will want pure productivity and pure speed 8. Which, granted, doesn't really need to be on the train network. It needs to be provided to me in the end by bots. But that's going to also mean that I will need at least 2 and 5 on network of those 2 as well. So what are we looking at here? On the train station that does the splinter processing, it will be providing the level 2 modules only. For the shards that makes 3, 4, and 5, it will need to provide the 4 and the 5 variants on speed, efficiency, and productivity, and the 5 on pure productivity and pure speed. And then on the final one from the big biters, that's gonna need the level 8 only. Or the level 6 and the level 8, excuse me, because that's... It needs 6 and 8 on speed, efficiency, productivity, and 8 provided on the network to me for the pure productivity and speed. That is the plan. Okay, so let me make this note. So for splinters, provide speed, efficiency, productivity, pure speed, pure productivity, level 2. For the shards, we need to provide speed, efficiency, productivity, level 4, and then all of them at level 5, and then crystals, it's the level 6 and the level 8. So 6 and 8. Wow. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 provider stations. Not even thinking about the input stations on that last one and on the shards. But the splinters, it's 5. 5 provider stations. Potentially. Unless I let my bots do all of the talking for me, in which case I don't need to have all those train stations providing. Which is pretty much what I did last time. I need to take a break. I need to get up and take a brief break a little bit before our regularly scheduled break, but yeah. After all that, and after all of my coffee drunk, I need to take a break. I will be back shortly. Okay, we are back. So we left off here with an issue. An issue. Singular. One. In that the train stations, if we are trying to make multiple module types to the equivalent splinter processing level, we're going to end up with needing a lot of train stations providing stuff, as well as a lot of train stations inputting stuff because we need a lot of the ingredients. We will need a lot of ingredients to make modules, period. Which then gets me into the question of, do we instead distribute as much as we possibly can in separate factories? And instead of trying to make these modules split up by level, we instead have individual factories making individual types of modules through to level 8. To do this, and then just provide the specific levels that we need between 1 and 8. So the speed one would provide, of course, 2, 4, 5, 6, 8. That's 5 provider stations in that factory for speed and efficiency and productivity. The pure speeds would only need to provide level 8. The pure productivities would only need to be able to provide the level 8 because we've made everything in sequence up to level 8 in those factories. And it doesn't even need to provide them onto the train network for those pure modules because they're going exclusively to me and to be used by my construction bots as I copy and paste stuff. But what does that really mean? It means that in order to keep the input stations down on all of that, because the last thing I want to do is have to bring in effectively all of the ingredients for red and blue and the other, like, to bring in all of the ingredients for circuits, essentially, all of them. What I'm going to need to do, by the way, how many, I have 1 medium biter queen so far. Glorious. We are, in fact, waiting for additional acidic puffer eggs to happen at this point in time. We need 1 more medium queen before we can get our shards. What it means is that instead what we'll do is we'll have factories producing circuit boards, logic boards, and processor boards separately from everything else. And these, and I guess also we'll need the pollution cleaning and the, we won't need the pollution producing because, yeah, pollution cleaning is used for pure productivity. Unless I just use the thingies, but then I would actually need to make pollution cleaning modules. I've looked at these material costs before. It is more expensive to do it this way. And of course, you know, general reminder, we're doing all this. This is the default Bob's recipes with Angel's refining and bioprocessing changes on these recipes. It is not the circuit processing changed modules. It is not the Sea Block changed recipe or changed effects of the modules. It's circuit processing that changes the recipes and the, like, levels on the modules. All that's gone. I've disabled all of that because it's stupid. Frankly, it's because it's dumb and it's not fun in any way, shape, or form. I like fun. I like shenanigans. I like what modules do to the game. And I like actually having game performance in the late game. So, what does it mean? What does it mean? It means that with pure speed, I will need speed and efficiency logic boards. I will need efficiency, productivity, and pollution cleaning boards. And for these 3, of course, I need the speed, efficiency, and productivity. So speed, efficiency, productivity, and pollution cleaning boards. All of these are going to need basic module boards at this level. And then at this level, we need module logic boards, and at this level, we need module processor boards. Oh boy. Now, very important note. What manner will we use to get into these things? Because, I mean, uh-oh. Oh boy. Big, big hitch there. I think the game auto-saved? I don't know. And didn't bring up the thing. There's a hitch. I'm questioning if I want to do the crystal processing and the production of these boards in a single factory and then provide the 4 boards in the end, right? That may be the simplest thing for me to do because I don't want to have to bring in 4 splinters, right? Or bring in 4 shards or bring in 4 crystals. So I'm going to do this for here, and I'm going to like make some adjustments here. We are on this tier. We will need these. We will need phenolics brought in. We'll make the ferric chloride local, of course. And I have something I can copy and paste for that. We'll need solder from coils. We'll need BEBs, or basic electronic components, excuse me, and transistors for this build, which is monosilicon, those rolls, and plastic, and charcoal. Okay. How much stuff out? We will need the matrix solver. I am going to do perhaps an ingredient input. Hello, Ave. Welcome to the stream. I've already had my break, so we will be continuing on. Did you happen to watch Blue Origin launch launch Jeff Bezos and company into space today? Because that happened right before my stream. Ah, that was great. It's yeah, relatively quick flight. They just stuck him on a capsule on a rocket and just launched him straight up. Launched him straight up. It was it was actually, just ignoring Jeff Bezos for a second, they did actually launch into space the oldest person and the youngest person ever to reach space in the same mission. Because they had an 18-year-old and they had, I don't even know how old she was, the woman, but I think in her 80s. Yes, everyone got back in one piece in that mission. It went off without a hitch, slight delays, but otherwise great. So what we're looking at here is my plan for what I want here. Let's say I want, 15. That is not 15. Hello. 15 of each. Just, just as numbers to have. Just, we want numbers, and there's numbers. What are the ingredients, and how am I going to get into the ingredients? We're going to break down the crystals. There's the raw crystal splinters there. See, that's 30 splinters, as I expected. That's per second. Trust me, it's fine. Trust me, it's gonna be fine. It will be fine. Once we get our modules for productivity, it'll be fine. You gotta have faith. Faith that the power of level 5 productivity modules shall overcome all of our issues. The power of level 5 productivity modules cuts the base raw splinter cost in half. In half! So, and that'll improve again at the level 8 modules. So, just, the numbers don't matter. What I'm trying to say is, numbers don't actually matter for this. Oh my god, that is a lot of solder, though. Hi, solder! That's 20 coils and 24 plastic. Yeah, like, we're not gonna meet this demand. I also need to break down the stuff on the grindstones here. Oh, it's ingots. Right. That's ingots. Trichlorosilane is what now? I mean, I guess I'm doing it anyway, right? For the ferric chloride solution, so we can go down that route. Yeah, that's a lot of stuff. I have matrix solver. Wow, it's still net 30 in. Okay, sure. Yeah, fine. We'll manage. And then what else will be local? The crystal slurry will be local. And we'll be done out of that. We'll be done out of that. Excuse me. Duffa. I have matrix solver. Why are you... Oh, right, because it's... There you go. That should be a thing now. That's not too bad, actually. Not out of mud, excuse me. Or excuse you. That. You. Pumps! That brought in, that brought in, that brought in, that brought in. That out of doohickey. That's not the proper recipe. Excuse me, out of that. Mark II. Boiler. That's brought in, that's brought in, that's brought in, that's brought in, that's brought in. That's local. That's brought in, that's brought in, that's brought in, that's brought in. So, what do we have here? In this factory, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 input stations and 4 output stations. And there's no way around it. Oh yeah, it's 1/2 past the hour. There is legitimately no way around this. We just have to deal with it as it is. It sucks that we have to deal with it as it is, but that's just gonna be the way of it. And then I'll have separate factories for each of the 5 module types, but whatever, that I'll be dealing with. And then I'll have a separate factory that's making the logic boards. So we can break that down as well. It looks pretty much identical, but slight difference. It'll be the logic boards, and then it'll be the processor boards in the end. Yeah, that deals with fiberglass boards, which I don't think I have on the network right now. I would need to, you know, do the thing for the fiberglass boards. We would need to make that, uncoil that, Romano, silicon, the grindstones. Ah, the grindstones. That can be a separate factor, completely, because it's going to need to be provided 3 times. That is definitely a thing to consider, because while I still need the crystal slurry up here, the crystal powder... Where is this getting its crystal powder? Hold up. Where is this getting its crystal powder? Here. Here. So the that's not gonna be reliable. That is not even gonna be slightly reliable. I want a reliable input on that, and that is going to be deleting crystal dust in the end. So what I need to do here is split off and remove this guy completely and all of its inputs to give us a better idea of what that's going to look like. This is going to take a while to build, by the way. It's going to take a few more streams to actually build all of this out. That looks a bit better. So now it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 inputs to 4 outputs. That is significantly easier to manage, but we still need to make this guy separate. Now, I'm gonna need, you know, a few units of that. In the end, gonna be done. This crystal dust processing. The crystal dust processing will be all of that. If there was a reliable way to wait, there is a There is a very reliable way of getting rid of, like, the biotic stuff here, right? I like that 20 into 6. Hold up. Hold on. Can I not just do... Yeah. And can I not... Void? Does nutrient pulp have a void? Does it? No, it doesn't. What? Well, dang. But it can be processed into stuff that can be voided. I'm looking at it. I don't see a... There isn't a vegetable oil for leaves. Vegetable oil doesn't have a thing for leaves, but it does have nutrient pulp, and nutrient pulp into... I guess I would do the fuel oil glycerol. Does glycerol liquid have a void? Yes. Oh, look, explosives. But yeah, I would do it this way, because there's void recipes on the fuel oil and on this to flare stack it, and that would actually completely eliminate all the leaves. The thing here is that I would need 150 Nexaflax. I mean, at this scale, though, that's to be expected. It is swamps. It's only 50 swamps. Oh, I have to deal with the dormants, but at least it uses fertilizer. Right. At least it uses fertilizer. Well, that's fine, then. I have to throw that into a linked block along with you. No, not that. Along with you. So that I know how much, like, stuff I have to deal with in the end. That's not that much. Only 15 advanced gas refinery ones. Maybe I should make a higher level gas refineries. That. You. That's a lot of mud. Wait, why is it not... Okay, it's telling me that there is 0.17 excess dormant seeds out of here. Yeah, because it's 16.51 and 16.67. So what I need to do is I need to get fertilizer. Oof. Yeah, out of compost. Weird. Weird UI stuff going on right now. Very weird UI stuff. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a Nexaflax seed as well as a brown algae, and that should even it out. And of course, we're going to compare this to just getting it out of crystal processing, right? We have to compare all of this, 56 megawatts, to the crystal processing. Oh, I will also need to recycle the drum. So we have to keep that in mind. And I have to make the urea. Okay. I have to make carbon dioxide. Huh? Oh, and I need to make the mud. Right, there's a lot of mud. And light mud water here. And it needs, like, the silicon carbide and all that, but I can ignore the silicon carbide stuff and steel. And I can sort of ignore the lubricant, because all that's used at the end product anyway. But, yeah, I need to... The problem is that the mud is... a lot. That's the problem. That's the problem with the leaves. With Nexaflax. No, 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 no. Ave. I need 33 mud to make the Nexaflax. I actually need 33 mud to make the Nexaflax. 33 and a third. So I need to make mud. I can't just recycle mud in a liquefier. I have to actually make it. There's no way to make it outside of washing. This is the only way to get mud in the entire game. Really wish there was a recipe that made mud, but there isn't. You have to do it this way. And that is the issue with Nexaflax. Now, why does that still say I need 3.34 fertilizer? Because, I don't know. Oh god, the game is hanging. The game is hanging. The game up. Now my other thing is hanging. And my PC is dying. Uh-oh. Recover? Please? Please recover? We've recovered. Okay. Did I freeze? Just a question. Did I freeze? Was it, like, still transmitting? Because even though the screen froze, I don't know if that's transmitted. It was not an autosave that just did that. Huh. This is only in Factorio that this is happening, by the way. And I don't know why. I have updated my graphics drivers. Yes, it did freeze. Okay. So, it's something with the graphics card. And it's only happening with the game. But you could still hear me. Could you still hear me talking? Because that's the next part of this. Were you still able to hear me talk, even though the screen was frozen? That's... because that would mean something was hanging further beyond just the graphics. We could hear you. Okay. So, graphics freeze. This has only been happening in this game. Why? I don't know. Actually, I probably know. I think, just wild speculation, I think my graphics card has a sector, at least one, of corrupted DRAM. Or of the GPU memory. I think there's something corrupted in my GPU memory. Because this is a thing that's happening only when using a lot of the dedicated GPU memory, VRAM. This type of a freeze only happening with that, when that is happening, when there's lots of usage of GPU memory. I've got no idea. However, it's like sectioned off. I've got no idea, but it may be something with the GPU memory. That's the only thing I can think of. For it to only happen when there's significant usage of GPU memory. If it was a system memory issue, I would have expected a complete freeze, including audio dropout, for example, slash a crash of the entire system, or a crash of the game entirely, or something like that. If it was an actual, real, physical memory issue with the computer itself, the game would crash, right? But I don't know what happens when there is an issue with graphics memory. If it would actually result in a freeze like that, some sort of a driver freeze or reset or something. Just wild speculation. There does appear to be something with my GPU, probably due to its age. But, I mean, if it's only presenting itself like this, in a game that's using a lot of graphics memory, well, fine, whatever. And only when I'm streaming? Like, okay, sure. At least, because I've sort of had something similar when I first did my system when I did my system upgrade. I did have a situation where I would freeze, and then the whole system would just sort of die. But I think that was not quite related. That was something else. I think I've fixed that. But anyway, beyond that, I'm pretty sure that this will lose out to just simply getting the crystal dust out of the gemstones. So if I copy, paste here, get rid of that, and then get rid of all of this shenaniganry. If I just get the dust out of processing these guys, I said matrix solver. It's that. If I do it this way, yeah, that's about what I expected there. That out of you, that out of you, out of you. 47.6 megawatts is less than 90.4. So that's like the competition there, and the problem here is that the vast majority of the building count or a lot of the building count is coming from this fact that I need mud in the end, and that's also consuming not that much of the power, to be completely honest, but it is using a lot of it. And then we've got things like the fertilizer taking up stuff, etc. If I break all of this down, just get rid of all of that, leave it as is, 53.6 is still greater than 47.6. So just between the bioprocessor and the swamp environment, it's still worse, right? Just between these, it's still worse. And even if I use a different recipe, that doesn't give me leaves, but gives me fewer, because I could do Nil Aubergine. That one's actually simpler. Nil Aubergine is simpler because it's sand and not mud, as well as saline water. it's still using more power without even looking at the sand and saline water to begin with. And I have to deal with the pips. On the flip side, this makes power. On the other side, this will produce power out of the pips, so there is that to consider. That we can get veggie oil. Eh? Eh? The one that made the leaves required mud directly, with which sand is significantly easier than the mud. We can just break that down that way. See, significantly fewer buildings here. I do have ceramic filters, but it won't matter. It does not matter, actually. It just slightly reduces the number of buildings here, and just requires the pure water. Woohoo. It's actually 29 buildings to do the ceramic versus 29 buildings to do the charcoal. Woohoo. I need to get lots of pure water to cycle that. It's a lot of pure water. There you go. This gives veggie oil and nutrient pulp, which you have to deal with nutrient pulp, you have to deal with the veggie oil. It returns power, but it's not gonna be worth it again. 460 buildings versus this. So, just had the thought. It's not gonna work out. Therefore, we're gonna stick to this, and that's gonna be the crystal grindstones in the end. I am crushing them all into dust first. That's fine. I have to deal with the crushed stone. I have to delete the mud, delete the stuff, delete these 3 things, actually. And bring in lube. Looks like I got rid of my lube recycling. There we go. Lube cycling! So, in the end, the inputs here are steel and silicon carbide, which, break down all of that. Do I want to do the trichlorosilane process? I mean, I don't really have much of a choice, because this uses a ton. This uses a ton of stuff. Which, yeah. We'll do that. We'll do that. I can delete the sodium hydroxide. I don't have to worry about that. This is going to use silicon ore, which I'll bring in separate. I don't need to make silicon ore local. That would just, it would still require at least one input, couple of inputs actually, to make the silicon ore. I'll do that completely separate. But yeah, that looks like it. We'll start with 30. We're not gonna be building out at like 5 per second to begin with. It's just gonna scale up from like 1 in the end. I may as well just set it to, excuse me, 1 on each of these. And there has been a purpose to all of this stalling, by the way. Because in the meantime, we have been processing medium biters, and we now have 2 medium biter queens. 2 entire medium biter queens. Huzzah! We have succeeded on the 2.5% chance twice, which means that we can officially make our factory for the medium biters. Oh my gosh, we've done it. Enough time has passed, and we have gone and done it. We no longer need to do this at all. We do not have the recipes to do the big biters at this point in time. We will need to get into purple science, I think, before I can actually unlock all of that. We also need to think about, oh hey, science! Science is a thing. We need to do science to even get the modules in the first place. Science requires the module mainboards and module cases. Yeah, sure. We'll have a section dedicated, a factory dedicated to those module sciences. That'll be temporary because there's only a specific number of module sciences. And after that, it'll be deleted in its entirety. Why did I go here? Because it's the closest. So pretty much the exact same build is required for the medium biter processing as the small biter processing. The small biter zoos are over here. I planned this out for 15 splinters out, so let's look over here and have shard. We're looking at the raw crystal shards from these biters. We need the matrix solver on 15. We need to grab that recipe. Whoops, that is not the recipe. We need to grab that recipe from that recipe. That's the one. You found the mod that added the basic loader. Deadlock's mod integrations. Yeah, I don't have that. Adds the gray level loaders and loaders for top 2 tiers of belts. Interesting. Yeah, because I don't have deadlock loaders for the like standard purple and other, for the standard purple and green tiers from Bob's. Right. I don't have those. But what I do have, because Ultimate Belts mod works with it, is I have the Ultimate Belts mod version of Deadlock's loaders for its 5 levels of belts that it adds, which are inherently faster than the top level, so it's essentially I'm skipping purple and green as part of that. And I'm willing to take a bet that it doesn't have a compatibility with Sea Block, and that the loaders will use wood at the basic level. I mean, I just didn't use loaders at the gray level for this. I could just make the yellows. Once I unlocked the ability to do the yellows, I could make the yellow loaders just fine. Yeah, it's not needed if you have like Ultimate Belts mod for the top level, and if you just don't really care about the 7.5 belt speed of the grays for using loaders. I need what? The alien processed meat breakdown here. So let's look at these numbers as well. This is 57, 18, and 12. How does that compare over here? 57, 12, and 8. So 57 stays the same, but the egg hatching and egg production changes. So from 12 to 8 to 18 and 12. So that should be 18 So 50% more. And 12. If the bigs are 50% more than that, I will need to adjust the layout a little bit. I'm gonna imagine that the bigs are, again, gonna be another 50% difference. So the crystals are here. I need to see this. No, not this. I need to see under you. That. So it is still going to be 57, but it's going to be 29 and 19. Oh boy. So another 11. Oh gosh. Well, I don't have to deal with that right now. What I do need to do is change this one to this recipe. And change this one to this recipe. I also need to change all these filter inserters. Oh goodness. Change this guy to this recipe. Across the board. Oh joy. At least this part doesn't really change. Its building count. This is effectively 2 times this one, right? With its 29. Eh. Not really, but... Because what I was thinking is just, you know, taking that... Taking this and, like, just plopping another on it down below. Okay. This needs to be those. This needs to be those. I am going to be copy-pasting the entire line here. Down here. Which leaves me with only needing to change this. And this, and I can just copy and paste, because they are mirrored. Glorious. Down here, we need medium queens and medium biters. Paste this down the line. Whoops. Whoops. There you go. And down here, we need medium eggs and medium queens. There we go. Delete which one? That one. And that one? No. We'll just do that. There you go. Better. Better. And you need to be that one. You are still... There you go. Bring in the stuffs. So you are at not splinters, but shards. Your nutrient pulp at shards. Your meat at shards. You are, in fact, spores at shards. You are calcium carbonate at shards. You are silver ore at... you're like just... blarg. Not necessary. And you are at shards. Hydrochloric acid. Here we've got calcium carbonate. That is under here. You are spores, alien spores. You are meat, raw meat. And you are, in fact, nutrient pulp. All that's left is to take the 2 initial biter queens and plop them in here, in this glorious little thingy. And that's that, to be completely honest. Actually, you know what? Both times the PC thing has frozen today has been in Hell mod. Huh. That's weird. Is there a problem with Hell mod? Because I've only had that thing happen with Hell mod up, but again, I can't really trust that though, because I spend a lot of time with Hell mod up. So it's just that I haven't seen this graphics freeze happen outside of looking at Hell mod. Huh. Weird. Who knows, maybe it's just a problem with Hell mod. Also, this needs to filter queens. That's rather important to filter the medium queens. Make sure that we are, in fact, cycling our queens. I have already messed up. Queens! Get back! Because I didn't do that fast enough, it already cycled once. Now, because it cycled once, that would mean, logically, that I have done a thing, right? That I've produced eggs. This has finished one product. And this has 1 biter in it. All the way up here. 1 whole biter in you. But, you know, we can kick this into somewhat high gear and throw a whole bunch of biters. Those medium biters that we've made thus far. And there we go. We have our very first raw crystal shards. Oh boy. Glorious. This is going to take a very, very long time to get into high gear. To kick into gear. The reason for that, of course, is that we only have a 2.5% chance of producing an extra queen with each cycle. We will never lose our queens, but it's a real low chance of getting queen. Hello, Ollie. Oh, we have a baby. We haven't had the babies yet. Hello, my boy. Oh, big stretch. Yes, you're so tired. You're so sleepy. You're a sleepy kitty today. So you get to go right to the lap. Yes. Yes, sleepy kitty gets to sleep in my lap. Huh? Does he want to sleep? Does he want to sleep? How's my boy? How's my boy? He wants some attention. Yeah. How's Ollie? How's Ollie? Is he gonna lay down? Is he gonna lay down, or is he just gonna lean against my belly? There you go. There you go. You get comfy. Yes, you get nice and comfy in the lap. There you go. You're warm. You're very warm. Not like hot, just warm. Well, okay, that takes care of the main thing that I wanted to get done today. The only thing being it's gonna take a while to spin up. I don't even think we've maxed out our... Oh, we have. Okay, we have maxed out the small biter squad. So now all of the things... why, though? Why no stuff here? Interesting. I mean, these are all operating at max. These 12. This is telling me I only... or blah, this tells me I only need 12 for 57. I'm probably getting unlucky on the cycle backs. Right. Probably getting a little unlucky on cycling back on the biters. And that explains the lack of input here. We have to accrue enough small biters to back up on all the lines enough to then have everything flowing again. That's what's happening. So even though we have enough queens, we haven't cycled enough small biters into this system to take up enough space on belts to make sure that everything is operating fully. And that will just take some time. We do, however, now have our crystal shards online. I will make a couple of trains for each of the types that we currently have access to. These are shards. I will need to name S shards, D shards, SD full cargo, circuit condition, SD full cargo, circuit condition, go, go, go. What would happen if I were to change this? Where is... Oh, there it is. Okay. To that. Okay. Control F works. So Control Shift F will bring up what is it really used for. I will not remember that. That is new muscle memory that will need to be formed. But now I can actually hit Control F to get this search bar again. All because of absolute and utter stupidity. That is the only reason why that is a thing. / oversights. Why did the developers feel the need to make mods have exclusive rights to whatever their shortcuts are? Because the way that it seems is that if there is a conflict now, the game will always default to the singular key binding assigned to a specific mod, rather than to the default behavior of the game itself taking precedence. The game's keybinds should always take precedence over mods. I don't know why that was changed. It was, though, so here we are. And I will complain about it until it's changed and fixed. And if it's intended, well, I will complain about it until the end of time. It should not be an intended behavior to behave that way. Alright. We have about 43 minutes with which to work towards stuff. I guess we start with crystal grindstones. Yeah, sure. We'll start with crystal grindstones. I need What does that sodium carbonate do? Can I get the hydroxide out of that? I can get solution out of that. WTF, 62.38? What? Oh, it's trying to get the water. It's trying to water. Let's not try to water. Thanks. Like, if I can use this to get back into the sodium hydroxide, why do you not let me? Why do you not, like... Oh, because I need to have that. Duh. The what? Now what? Oh, it's... You know what it is? It's the carbon dioxide. Is it the carbon dioxide? Is it the pure water? I think it's the pure water. It's trying to pure water. Have pure water. That wasn't the problem. What? I want you to use all 6.25 of the sodium carbonate. Why are you not using all 6.25 of the sodium carbonate? Product. Thanks. Well, that wasn't it. Oh, because this also produces sodium hydroxide, and it does not want to... It wants to use this in here. Anyway, it does appear as if it is a one-to-one translation, meaning that the sodium hydroxide in for this process can become the same amount of sodium hydroxide to loop this at zero cost besides nitrogen to improve the output of carbon overall. Is it worth it? Sure. But is it worth the extra complexity of adding in electrodes and doing electrode washing? Probably not. So I'm going to keep it as carbon the first. From charcoal. Wait, what? Wait, what? Whoa. Hold up. 37.525. $37.525. Yeah, that's 3 from 2. Yeah, that's 3 from 2. That's 3 from 2. Carbon from charcoal. That's 3 carbon from 2 charcoal. Ha! Sea Block. Maybe you should fix this, because this is a problem. Right. Yeah. Did you know that it's significantly easier to produce steam than to do all of that cycling? That doesn't even save you on charcoal input? Huh, who'd have thought? Who'd have thunk it? I think we're good now. Yes, we are good now. Pin... this is doing 30. If the plan is 1 per second on these, it needs 2, 4, 6. So... do I need this scale? Is it okay to do this scale? Yes. Yes, it is. It is absolutely fine to do this scale. Maybe not. 10. We'll do 10. And this output, of course, will not improve with productivity. Oh, yes, it will. It will improve with productivity, glorious, because this one can take productivity modules. Oh, boy, yes, and what I'm looking for here is reducing the silicon ore part of this. Also, the silicon ore will get productivity, because that's a step in the ore sorting that takes productivity as well, and can improve overall outputs. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. I need an empty square with which to perform my magic. This square, I guess, will be the big biter zoos. We're definitely not lacking on empty squares, so we'll go out here. Don't think we have any train traffic using this right now. And we'll go ahead and plop down a standard train station. This particular train station is going to need 1, 2, 3 solids in. So just grab our good old solids. I said grab our good old solids. go. And add a third. Beautiful. Beautiful. We are... Weirdness. Weirdness has happened. That's... better. Yeah, like, should you not be one more tile over? Should you not be just one more tile over? Yeah, there you go. Ta-da! Down here, power that. Just go ahead and put down a, Roboport. Sure, why not? That to give power. Beautiful, glorious, wonderful power. Replace that with those. Doesn't matter at all. And there we go. Okay, I need what? I need silicon ore, charcoal, and steel. Our charcoal, glorious, at, what are these? These are crystal grindstones. So not at grinding wheels, so at grindstones. Our steel at grindstones. And then our silicon ore at grindstones. There is a point to make about having the grinding wheels in excess here and provide excess grinding wheels, because we will need to do gemstone stuff at some point, but we'll worry about that when we get to it. Ollie's snoring in my lap. The baby boy. Yes, I need to swap my... which leg I have crossed here. There we go. It's taken a while for the cats to get used to my motions in my lap. I always tend to keep at least one leg up, crossed. It's one of the ways in which I keep my legs from having issues, really, is I am constantly moving, even though I'm sitting down for extended periods of time. Gotta keep the legs moving. Just part of me. Always shifting around, doing stuff. Yes, that looks like it's properly wired. Alright, let's bring in things, shall we? This one is charcoal. Charcoal exists here. This one is steel. Steel is down here. I should have a pretty big backup right now on the steel. Similarly, for the silicon ore. There we go. So all of that is on its way. This can go here. Alright, now to build a thing. Alright, that should not be a powderizer 1. That should be a powderizer 3 by default. That is a lot of chemical furnaces. And am I not making these? I am not. How much of a change does that make? 44. Okay. Mall. Small, I need you to make... Oh, I don't have that recipe. Oh, God. Well, alrighty then. I suppose we are gonna have to live with this for now. That is just a lot of buildings. 59. Oh joy. Well, let's get this, start from the end and work our way back, shall we? Seems like a plan to me. So this guy... Just, you know, slight change of pace here. We always tend to work our way from the front, or from the lowest step to the highest. Let's work our way from the highest to the lowest this time. Nah, we won't do that. We'll do this. There you go. Powder and grinding mills. The grinding mills will be above. Sure, why not? How many buildings? 5. 5 making grinding wheels. Do, 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 da, 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 da. Now, one of these is, in fact, steel. Da-da! There's your steel. That's that. Powder. This takes powder. The powder will be from here. In the one whole doest of doohickeys. And when there's one doohickey, may as well do loaders. May as well use the loaders. Where is crystal powder? Powder? Powder. There you are. Okay. This... Oh, right, lube. I forgot about lube. Alright. One more train station. That's all that means. One more input, this time a fluid. Connect, grab that. Sure. There. That is that. You have the proper amount. Our lube at Rhinestones. Just gotta wait for my robots to build the thing. Then I'll put in the request. I need logic. Logic from you. This. There you go. We apparently need another doohickey. Alright. Just add crystal dust. Have you built the thing yet? Where are my bots? There they are. The bots are on their way! Okay. Now, the fun part. What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. We'll get through this. Where are... Still there. That is not at all what I wanted. I mean, it is a thing that I wanted, but just not, just not here. Okay, just not right here. We'll keep those off to the side. It's good to have the filtering, but just not there. Okay, just not there. The filtering is there. I've decided. And they're in the proper order. Oh noes. Oh noes. Well, that's a problem. This has to be moved up 1 whole tile. Or this down a whole tile, but I'll do it like this. Now these are going to be the crystal dust, because we're making crystal powder, and then these will be the crushed stones. That would be 2 tiles. Here come the bots. And then this makes not that much. That's not it. This is already crushed, so just a liquefier. Liquefying the crushed stone up to 37.5. This is making 5.77. I think we're okay to keep it as this. Alright. This should be done up here. bring me my lubricant. Thank you kindly for the lubricant. Obviously, we're going to be doing some sorting up here. Okay, we need 3 of these, 1 of these, 1 of these. We need water. Of course. And I need to deal with the mud. Never forget to deal with your mud problems. Donkey, 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 and donkey. Ta-da! Crystals! Crushing! And powdering. Glorious. Beautiful stuff. Crystal powder is go. Is a go. Five into 25. Okay, pretty sure this makes 1. Yeah, so that's fine. Oh yes, this liquefier here needs to be mud. Needs to be mud. There you go. We has... Excuse me. Used drums. Beautiful and glorious used drums. Oddly enough, there didn't end up any used drums up here, because I filtered properly. Okay. That part's done. Now, this part. Oh boy. Hi, Ollie. Oh, are you leaving? Yes, you're leaving, thank goodness. Bye, Ollie. I appreciate the time in my lap, but I don't appreciate you pushing your paws against my bladder. Ahem. Now that that's taken care of. This used to be done in electric furnaces. I could have sworn. In fact, I don't even remember this being done out of silicon powder. This was like an upgrade from silicon nitride. Am I crazy about that? But this has been changed since, like, the last time I even played in Space Angels. Like, this has been changed from Space Angels from not that long ago. A recent change. Alright, how the heck am I going to do 59? Certainly not going to be 2 rows of 30. Probably 4 rows of 15. We'll see how well that'll be. $10, $15. 2 inputs, 1 output. Oh, slight hiccup there. Those 2 inputs could be on a single belt. But no, we'll leave it. $60. $59, yeah. As I've said, it is a lot. Is a few chemical furnaces. Oh, I don't know, because I wasn't thinking at all. I don't know. Just wasn't thinking too much. I mean, yeah, I could have arranged it so that it was 2 here, 2 here, 1, 1, 1, and saved 1 line of belt. Or just shared the throughput and had 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 the whole time. Might still do that. Might still do that. Let's go ahead and redo that. Faster to have the nanobots do it. That's it. And then it won't matter what's feeding into what at all. That accurate? Yeah. That it be. And then it all needs this stuff, otherwise known as power. Thank you, robots, for building all the things for me. I totally got rid of my pin. Why did I get rid of my pin? Pin, I need you. I need my pin. Give me my pin back. Pin. Okay. Quote-unquote 59, aka 60 chem furnaces. These chemical furnaces need carbon. I may as well do the carbon. We'll do this up. No, down. Over here. I need oxygen. I need outputs and inputs. No, actually, that'll come that way. Charcoal. Go. And then 3 electric boilers. Oh boy. Isn't that glorious? Alright. 32. 8 times 4. There you go. And a singular output. This lines us up quite well. To do that. Doinky. Doinky. Ta-da! That's that step. Okay, power. Ta-da! That's that. 2 whole chemical furnaces. Woohoo! Two entire chem furnaces will output what we need. But... oh, there's always a catch, isn't there? We need ingots to start the process. Oh, isn't that wonderful? Isn't that just glorious? You need ingots to get more ingots. And we need to make this trichlorosilane, which we'll need. It's actually 1-to-1 here on the stuff, so in reality we'll do this way. And we don't need to connect the lines. 1.39, 1.86. You know what? Fine. You can share that. This... ooh. This doesn't have output outside, or output stuff. I don't need inserters on that side. Do you void destroy all stuff? I mean, that works, right? Putting in a substation. This is gonna pull in processed silicon from 3 doohickeys. Taking silicon in. Now, fortunately, instead of this, I can actually just, I think, make silicon ingots directly from ore here to kickstart the process. If I have blast furnaces, hello? You. You, yeah. Because we're making carbon anyway, I could just grab some carbon, throw it in there. Oh, gosh. Lag. Grab a bit, just a little tiny bit of ore. Yeah, I'll need to pull the ore in anyway, but, you know, just gib some ingots to start the process. And now I have some ingots to start the process. Now I can just throw in the ore, as normal. Okay. Ore. Going down. There we go. That is these steps done. And you, and you. What is it I needed the saline for? Wait. What did I need saline for? Oh, this. Right, we need to do the, hydrogen chloride stuff. I didn't break down the... Did I? Oh, I mistakenly clicked a pin that I wasn't supposed to. That one. So, here... I'll do this right here, because it's not... Yeah, I mistakenly did that. Oh, good. If I have it this way, they are, in fact, the same. Now, I could do that. So, this uses 1-to-1. This does not produce 1-to-1, so I do have to overflow void. When do we not have to overflow void? We always have to overflow void, and I can just rotate until that's aligned. There you go. Give it some power. Put down a salination plant. I will have to deal with the output, by the way, so we're actually going to be doing this, and I'm going to need purified water. Saline plant, where are you? I always lose track. Where is my big purple saline? There you are. The irony being that this also produces saline, but whatever. Don't care. That produces stuff. That voids the stuff, that gives the stuff, that gives the things, that's given the things. That's cycling. Once it backs up, it'll go into the powder. From there, the powder will go up into these, and we'll start producing silicon carbide. God, the silicon carbide really needs to be worked on, just in terms of the balance. Balance is way off there, it's way too slow. That's going to make grindstones, or grinding wheels, and that's going to make the grindstone that we just need to put on a train. What is the stack size? 200. We're going to limit that to 1 stack per train. Give it that. Change this to supply. Grindstones. Depot grindstones. Add station grindstones. Supply depot. Full cargo. Circuit condition go. Last but not least, we have several doohickeys to assign. We have from up here the raw splinters. From D splinters. We have the shards from D shards. And now we have the crystal grindstones from D grindstones. All done. Just in time to end the stream if I can figure out why in the world that's not moving, because I was a dummy and didn't void that. Okay. We're done. Cue, like, Hallelujah chorus. We're done with the main goal +1 for the day by being able to have our grindstones provided onto the network. We have made quite a few. We've set up production of quite a few of these grindstones in this little zone here. It uses a lot of silicon ore. I will need more silicon ore, but we're not going to worry about that for the moment because the amount will go down significantly as I actually get modules online. And that... Hey, thank you so much for following the channel. Becoming a subscriber. That is going to be where we will end it off for the day. And we will be continuing on Thursday by actually attempting to see modules. I would like to see modules on Thursday on our next stream, because what all that means is that I will get to do this. I will actually... I think I'm going to steal slurry from my crystal catalyst production and put the slurry on the network so I don't actually have to do any of this stuff. Or maybe I'll double the crystal slurry build that currently exists, or the crystal catalyst build that currently exists, and just make it have slurry instead. That sounds like a much better idea, and just bring in slurry as slurry from here. Yeah, that sounds like a much better idea. Just bring in the slurry, and that saves me another input, because I don't need the sulfuric acid at all anymore. Or it replaces sulfuric acid with slurry, I think, in this. But that is perfectly fine. We do need an initial input, even if I'm going to be, like, voiding excessive amounts of these guys. But yeah, we're finally here. We've made it. We've made it to the point where we're actually going to be working on the actual modules. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Finally, huh? With that, I would like to thank you all for watching. This has been Otaku Shibut. If you've enjoyed today's stream, please be sure to do all of the social and engagement stuff below the video. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you've not yet subscribed, and hit the notification bell. Consider becoming a member of the channel by hitting that great big blue join button and supporting on Patreon at patreon.com/otakushobot if you're so inclined and able. I will, of course, be back on Thursday to work closer still to modules, ideally seeing some modules next time. But I will be back tomorrow with more of our